Hello everyone, and welcome back to Mentos Plays this Delver's Drop pre-alpha. I know yesterday I said that I might not be doing this again before the full alpha was released. It's due out in a couple of days, but I wanted to play this tonight and I figured if I'm going to play it, why not record it? So here we are, playing some more of this endless drop mode of Delver's Drop. Hopefully going to go a bit better than last time, where we didn't do too bad in the first couple runs, but I think things kind of fell off the rails a bit after that. So, we will be looking to try to get as far as we possibly can. Not sure how far that's going to be, but we'll see. Let's kill these lampshades. We're going to have to avoid some shots, which do a lot of damage. These rats are kind of just like avoiding me, and that's kind of jerkish of them. They're like, we don't want you to kill us. What a shock. Oh, that one's dead. He's gonna explode. I can get this one maybe. Come on, come on. Haha, got you. Just got an email, but it might be wise to wait to check that until after I'm done with this video. I know a lot of times I do tend to just kind of check those because I'm curious if it's anything important. But I feel like it's probably wiser to wait it out on this one. Let's keep killing these rats. I mean, it's not really that pointful. I don't think we actually have to do this to move on. But it is going to make it a lot less threatening to move around and try to clear out the rest of the room. And of course we got a couple of shots coming in from different angles. We need to hit that. Oh, it's okay. We got a shield over there to get back to full. And down we go. So we now cleared 2 rooms. 2! Mr. Bat, I'm not afraid of you. But please get over here. I don't want you to be like the bats in Spelunky, who are just unreasonably damaging to me. That's another thing I'm looking forward to, is seeing if Spelunky's PC release can actually run on my laptop. I haven't played as much of it on the 360 as I would like, but if it can run on my laptop, then I could always, you know, start recording some playing of it, which gives me a little bit of added incentive to play some more. This took some stupid damage against that ghost, unfortunately. We're now down to 1 piece of armor. We're gonna break some stuff. Get some gold. I'm very curious to see how much of this has changed by the time that we get the full alpha later this week. It's going to be very interesting to see how much they have changed up the mechanics and such. I know they've changed the art. I've seen clips of that. But the mechanics and such, I'm very interested to see what has changed, as well as to know how the continuous castle works out, instead of, obviously, the endless drop mode here, which is just room after room. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all pans out when that is made available. I'm sure there are some people out there who are kind of flipping out right now that, oh, well, we backed the Kickstarter for an alpha and they keep delaying it and blah blah blah. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm actually pretty glad that they're delaying. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I'm actually pretty glad that they're delaying it, because, you know, if it's something big enough for them to delay an alpha release from coming out right when they said it was going to, then it's something big enough that we shouldn't be upset that they're delaying it. Obviously, there's a good reason for it. I don't know if I can open this thing. It kind of looks like a chest, but I guess not. Oop, those are spikes. Don't want to walk into those. Whoop, that was closer than I anticipated. Where do I need to go on this room? I need to hit that switch over there, which will involve me. Oh, ouch. That was a kind of fun little physics glitch, jumping over the... Or maybe it wasn't even a glitch, actually, but getting knocked up over top of the rocks when I got hit by that box. Oh, so that definitely wasn't our best run. That was just 5 rooms, not that great. Let's start back up here, drop right down. I guess there's really no reason to destroy the stuff in rooms unless I am actively looking to restore my health or my armor, because gold doesn't really do anything in this mode other than give you high score. And since it is randomly generated how much gold that you can get, it does seem kind of silly to spend time trying to farm a high score when there's no real way to encourage it that's better than just getting down to the lowest floor you can. That's another thing that is obviously going to change in the full version, is that gold will probably be much more valuable. At this point, it's kind of like a leaderboardless way of how the Golden Legend of Dungeon had been working, where you pick up a bunch of it, but it doesn't really do anything other than give you score. But without a scoreboard to go with it, that doesn't really have much effect for us, so we're just going to ignore breaking things for now, except for when it's convenient and fun. Oh, I forgot we could get consumables. It's actually kind of smart that we break things. I apologize for being a bit of a dope. Let's get over here real quick. Break this big crate open. There goes a bomb, unfortunately. What happens if I shoot this block? It's going to push that onto the switch. Perfect. I forgot those were explosive, so yeah, that was kind of stupid of me, wasn't it? Let's go ahead and head down to room 4. It's going to be a bunch of slimes with a bunch of springs. That kind of scares me. They're going to be bouncing around like crazy. Oh man. Just die. Just stay away from the springs and stop hitting me. I'm getting worried. I'm down 2 hearts. That's not good. Where is some meat or some other useful stuff that I could pick up? Okay, so we need to run, kill that blob, hit that, and oh, ouch. Okay, so we're gonna die very shortly here. We only have 1 heart left. I'm not that great at this game so far. Oh, so death is imminent. We can hit the switch here. That was easier than I anticipated. I did not remember that fired upwards, so I'm very lucky to not take damage yet again. We're going to slide down here and wrap our way to the hole. Perfect, perfect. If we can keep that up, we're in good shape. Let's kind of hit these things at some enemies just to clear out the room a little bit, hopefully. The more enemies that we can kill without ever having to directly interact with them, the better. They're going to walk into the spikes, which is not going to end well for them. But of course, that means it does end very well for us. There are a lot of slimes here. I think if we just wait a second, then boom! Yeah, that's right, slimes, you can die. No reason to really worry about the rest of those slimes. Let's just move on, see if we can't get to a nice high room count. Let's hit this one. Hit that one, just for the heck of it, pretty much. So on non-game related news, I'm very excited for Tuesday, since that's when the new season of Whose Line Is It Anyway is supposed to start up. I don't know about anyone who might be watching this, but I know the old version of Whose Line with Drew and everyone was one of my favorite. I didn't even attack, my sword just bumped, or the block just bumped against it when I tried to move it. I didn't know that would happen. That was ridiculous. But, anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so the new season of Whose Line is starting up on Tuesday, and I am very excited to watch that. It's been a long time since they've had new episodes of that. I am disappointed that Drew's not coming back to host it, because it does seem like it kind of breaks up the dynamic that they had going back then. But we'll see how the new host does. I'm sure that it's still got Ryan, Colin, and Wayne, and they make up the big portion of the show anyway. So that's really the most important thing. But yeah, if you guys didn't know about that, that's starting up Tuesday night. So yeah, it's a very good show if you haven't seen the old episodes at least. I don't know obviously how the new ones are going to be, but I have high hopes. Oh, ooh. So I don't know, that just came to mind. I was thinking about that earlier today, thinking I had missed the first episode of the new season before I realized that it was the 16th, not the 9th. That made me sad. That made me very, very sad. Okay, so we got a couple of bombs on the first room. We could actually try to remember to use those this time, since last time I had a bomb, I just kind of let it go to waste. That's one thing that isn't going to be in the next alpha that I'm really looking forward to, is the randomized weapon loot. For those of you who aren't aware, it's kind of a Diablo-esque mechanic, in the sense that you're going to get, you know, oh look, you get this sword, which has this base stats, but the base stats that it has will be randomized, as well as it'll have the possibility to have randomized effects. So it's definitely, you're probably not going to run into the exact same weapon very often, if at all, which is a very good thing, because it does allow for kind of learning varieties of playstyles without just forcibly skipping over something you prefer. You know, I run into that problem sometimes when I play Isaac, in that I have so many items that I prefer from having played as much and knowing as much about the game as I do, that when it comes to items that maybe I don't know as well, I tend to not experiment with them as much as I would have if I didn't know those other items already. So it is good to have that fact that you're going to run into randomized stuff. I mean, obviously there's still going to be traits that you prefer. If you like, you know, damage over time and there's a poison weapon, obviously you're going to want to go with the poison weapon. Stuff like that. But it's at least going to offer up some variety, in the sense that it's going to be hard to find a weapon that just on its own is the exact thing you want, that you've had hundreds of times before. So I'm quite excited to see how that all shakes out. I know also they've said that the room generation, they can not only randomize the rooms, but they can randomize the enemies within rooms. So you can get the same room layout, but have completely different enemies on it in different playthroughs. And that's kind of a nice touch, I think, in that, you know, even if you recognize the room layout, you can't just go in there and know exactly what to do. Also, I should add, I'm not sure how long this video is going to be. I do have some other stuff I want to record tonight, but I wanted to play a few rounds of this at least before I jumped into anything else. Toss an extra video up on the channel today. I do need to kind of build up a bigger backlog again, though, because with during the Rogue Legacy Let's Play, that was most of what I was recording. And since then, I've had kind of a hectic last week, so I don't have as much of a backlog as I had during those Rogue Legacy recordings. So I'm not sure really how much longer I have before I run out of videos to upload already recorded. So I really do need to put together a nice little backlog to make sure that I'm able to keep up with one video a day, which is something I want to make standard going forward. That thing I apparently can't hit. I think I noticed that last time I saw that, but I wasn't sure if it was the same thing. And where's my switch? It's got to be up there in the corner. We can push our way through here. I do like that all these rocks are physics enabled, so that you can actually move them around, and you know, you move slower with a health potion. I've never had one of those before, or I'm assuming that's a health potion. That's what it looks like. But yeah, it's nice to have that. Oh, my train of thought got distracted by the health potion. It's nice to know that the rooms won't always just be walk in, see the layout, and then, oh, it's this layout. Whoops, I just wasted 2 bombs because I forgot what button I was pressing. And at least we got an extra one there. Actually, we are up to 5 now, so we have profited by 1 bomb after wasting 2. Lots of gold to pick up, I guess. But yeah, it's once again, I'm going to take a look at the closest comparison game I can get to this, which is Binding of Isaac, which isn't very comparable at all, except for the fact that it's a top-down roguelike action game. But yeah, you know, when you walk into a room in Isaac, if you've played it enough, you can pretty much look at the layout of the room and know exactly what enemies you've got to worry about, where they're going to come from and everything, before you even process which enemies are on the screen. And it can vary a little bit. You know, you might get champions, you might have especially since Wrath of the Lamb, you might have the newer Wrath of the Lamb enemies instead of the vanilla enemies. But even that's a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Inconsequential change. You know, randomizing those enemies in that way, it doesn't really affect how you play the room very much, because usually the enemies that can spawn instead of the ones that are supposed to are enemies that are built on the same kind of pattern. You know, the big leaping spiders can spawn in front instead of the hoppers, but they also have the same AI as a flaming hopper, so, you know, it's kind of, I don't want to say superficial changes, because it's not quite to that point, but it's definitely not as detailed as it can be having every enemy that can spawns in the room randomized. So I'm interested to see how well that system works, and how that all pans out when that's all implemented. That's another thing that I'm not sure if that's planned to be completely ready by the alpha build, but it's something I'm going to be on the lookout for if I ever see a duplicate room during the alpha, seeing if oh, excuse me, my voice is getting a bit hoarse. Let me grab a drink of my pop here. Don't you hate when they do that, when they just kind of bubble up over on the corner because they got like bumped or something? And then it just makes it uncomfortable to drink, and sometimes you can't even get them open when they're like that. I don't know, it's one of the more annoying things to me in terms of my sugar-filled beverage consumption, which, all things considered, is not that concerning of a part of my life. You know, I don't want to sound, you know, antagonistic to anyone who a problem like that might be a bigger problem, but all things considered, if the worst thing I have to deal with on a day is my pop can being misformed, deformed, I guess is the word I'm looking for, not misformed. Is that even a word? I don't think that's a word. But you know, if that's the worst thing I have to deal with on a day, I'm pretty happy with that day. But at the same time, it's kind of one of those things like, come on, can't you design these a little bit better and more stable? So there's my random rant that comes from taking a drink. Who would have thought? I think the highest room we got to before was 9, so I think we are on a new record here. Oh, I gotta be very careful in this room. These things do a lot of damage. Oh, it just killed me the second I got hit. I had 10 bombs, 10 crossbow bolts, and a health potion. And I just died miserably. So, I think I'm going to call it quits here for this episode of Delver's Drop. I do have some other stuff I want to get recorded tonight, and it is about 20 minutes, which is shorter than my normal videos, but it's at least something, you know? Obviously, I'm going to be playing more of this. I don't know if I'll record it, as I said last time, but I'll be playing more of this leading up to the full alpha release in the next couple of days. And at that point, you can expect several videos uploaded in succession of that. For now, thank you for watching. I hope you had a great day or night, and I hope you found this video enjoyable, even though I kind of failed it up. Especially that last run, where I had a health potion and a bunch of consumables, and I walked into a firebomb that killed me. But yeah, thank you guys for stopping by, and have a good one, everyone.